Today I'm going to be showing you how to go from looking like this to this in only 24 hours. And to prove that I'm not lying, this is what I looked like on my first hour of switching to keyboard and mouse.
Alright, so cues for our wall are okay, this is gonna take me a while.
And this is what I looked like 24 hours into switching to keyboard and mouse.
Oh my gosh!
And after tons of people asking me for help on how they can improve on keyboard, I'm finally here to hopefully help you guys. From show you my settings to all the maps I played and tips along the way, I'm almost positive that you'll be able to master keyboard in only 24 hours. Also, if you guys want me to make more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and use my code WORSTCOMPLAYER in the Fortnite item shop. It is much appreciated. Alright, but enough talking, let's get straight into the video. Alright, now the first thing you're going to want to do when switching to keyboard is to find the best setting. Now here are my sensitivities, and if you don't know where to start, I really recommend that you try out these settings. My sensitivity is good for people who don't want to have a sensitivity that's too fast or too slow. It's just perfectly in the middle. Though if you do copy my sensitivity, make sure your mouse DPI is at an 800. Anything higher would feel too fast. Now I'm going to show you my current keybinds, but I really recommend that you do not copy them. What I would recommend to do is just to go in and pick keybinds that are most comfortable for you instead of copying off of pros. And the reason I say that is because a lot of pros have some very weird settings, and if you're not comfortable with their settings, it's going to take a lot longer for you to build that muscle memory. Now I do have some suggestions on what to add to your settings that can help you become a better player. For example, one of them being making sure you have visual sound effects on. This is going to help your awareness on where people are when fighting. Now the next setting you can only have if you have mouse buttons, and if you don't know what mouse buttons are, they're basically the two buttons on the side of your mouse. Wait, hold on, why is there brown stuff on my mouse button? Now for me, I use my mouse buttons for my stair and floor binds, but you can use them for whatever you want. In my opinion, it just makes you a faster player. Also, another setting that makes you a faster player is by having scroll wheel reset. This basically allows you to reset builds instantly. Now that we have our settings down, it's time to start working on our mechanics. And the map I like to do this on is this map right here that helps you work on your aim, edits, and piece control. Now obviously we're going to be working on all of these, but the first thing we'll be working on is our edits. Now in my opinion, editing is the easiest thing to master on keyboard. And honestly, it should only take you a couple minutes to see improvements. Now the main thing you want to work on when practicing your edits is just to get a good feel on the timing of everything. And by practicing this for at least 15 to 20 minutes, you should be able to easily do triple edit. Now I know this sounds extreme, but I'm telling you, once you see how easy it is to edit on keyboard, it really isn't that surprising. Now I recommend working on your edits for at least an hour, and I'm telling you by the end of this, you should be able to easily fly through the hard edit course. Don't mind this. Now since we have our editing down, it's time to work on our building. Now for your building, I'm going to be showing you 3 things that you're going to want to master before going into your first fight. Now I know this is going to sound basic, but the first thing you're going to want to work on is your 90s. To start out, I recommend just using your stair and wall bind. Now you're most likely going to fail at the start, but by progressively practicing, you should start getting the hang of it. Now once you start getting the hang of it, start trying to add your floor bind in. And it's definitely going to take some time to get used to, but like I said, you're going to start getting the hang of it. And by practicing this over and over, you should start to soon be able to do full 90s. Now the next thing we're going to be working on is our double edits. Now this shouldn't be too hard to get the hang of it since you already worked on getting a good feel of the timing of it. Though if you really need to, you can try to do this where you alternate editing your pyramid and your floor to try to build that muscle memory. And just like the 90s, the more you practice it, the more you're going to start to get the hang of it. Now at this point, you should be pretty comfortable on doing 90s and double edits, so the last thing we're going to be working on is boxing up. I know this sounds weird, but by practicing boxing up and creating more boxes is going to really help you when you get into your first fight. Now I would really recommend that you do not stop working on your building until you get the hang of everything that I have shown you so far. And if I'm being honest, for me this took me almost 4 hours just to get the hang of. So if you're not seeing any progress in the first couple hours, do not worry, that is completely normal. Though now that we're starting to get used to our editing and our building, it's time to start working on our aim, which in my opinion is one of the hardest things to get good at on keyboard. Now the map I use to practice comes with a lot of aim trainers, but I really only use 3 of them. And the first one I use is a sniper/AR practice, but mainly just the AR practice. This is going to mainly work on your tracking ability, which is really important. Also, the 360 tracking is another good aim trainer I use. And the cool thing about this trainer is that you can change the difficulty on it. So if I were you, I would start on easy and just work your way up. Alright, you know what, bro? Let's put this on hard. Let's see how hard it really is. Oh my gosh. What is this? What is this? Okay, this is impossible. Also, another aim trainer I use is called the Tile Frenzy, which is one of my favorites. This helps to work on your crosshair placement, which is one of the most important things to learn for your aim. And the last aim trainer I like to use is called Launchbotch, which basically just tracks your accuracy. Now this is another good aim trainer that works on your tracking, but I mainly just use it to see what my accuracy is. And I say that if your accuracy is anywhere over 50%, you should be good. Now if you didn't like any of the aim trainers that I've shown so far, Mechanics Training V5 also has some very solid aim trainers. Now so far we have worked on our edits, our builds, and now our aim, so now it's time to put them all together and work on our piece control. And this map offers 13 different piece control wait, hold on. Who is that? How did this guy get into my game? You know what? I'm just gonna piece control you. Oh, box! Now you're stuck in here, bro. Now you are stuck in here, bro. You are... Alright, you know what, bro? You can leave. You can leave. I literally have to get back to teaching people how to piece control anyways.
Thank you.
Anyways, before we got rudely interrupted, it's time to start working on our piece control. And what I would do is start at the first one and just work your way up once you feel comfortable. And during this time, you want to focus on giving yourself good peaks. My main tip is just not to focus on being flashy, just focus on the basics. For example, making sure you place a pyramid or stair into a person's box. Just like this. Now, if you get tired of this map or just do not like the piece control part of it, another map that has a really good piece control map is Mechanics Training V5. Now, I mentioned this map before, but the main thing I like about this map is that you can customize it to the point where you can get hit if you make a bad peak. So this is very helpful when practicing your peaks. Now, for me, I practice my piece control the most just to get a good feel for it. But like I said before, you do not want to focus on being flashy, rather just focus on the basics and making sure you get the piece control part down. Now, at this point of the 24 hours, I probably spent at least half the time working on everything I've shown you so far. So if you've been doing the same thing, you should at least be starting to get it, or at least be building that muscle memory. But now it is time to officially put on our big boy pants and get into our first real fight. Now the first map I suggest you playing is the pit, where the skill level of most players isn't the best. Bro, what is this guy's name? This is gonna allow you to experience a lot of fights in a short amount of time, which is really good. Now don't get ahead of yourself quite yet, because trust me when I say this is gonna completely get rid of your confidence. Because since you're not completely used to keyboard yet, you're gonna be dying to a lot of people who are way worse than you. Bro! And this is where I say you're gonna need to have a good mindset, or else you're gonna end up quitting. Bro, dude, it's a stampede! So don't let dying be the reason why you quit. Just keep on getting to fights, and eventually you'll start seeing improvements. Now I would suggest playing this map until you can get to the point where you're consistently getting kills. Bro, I am blanking this kid right now, bro. Okay, no, I'm done. Now once you feel as though you're good with the pit, I would move on to maps like Box PvP or Tilted Zone Wars, where the skill level is a little better, but you're still getting the same amount of fights in a short amount of time. Dang! We're not going to talk about it. Though, just like the pit, you are going to be dying a lot, but just put that to a side and just work on building that muscle memory. Now, on my first day of switching to keyboard, I spent hours playing creative, working on my fighting skills. So don't just practice on the maps I tell you, there are a bunch of other maps to practice on, like Speed Realistics or 1v1 build fights.
Oh my gosh.
My best advice is just to practice everything you were working on before this.
Oh my gosh.
Don't be trying to play flashy, just work on piece controlling and getting good peaks. And if it helps, you can also do some VOD reviews. Hold on. Hold on. Wait. Yeah, do not expect to be doing that on your first 24 hours. Now, after all the time spent working on your aim, your edits, your builds, your piece control, real fights, you should only have a couple more hours left, and if you don't, you have some more practicing you have to do. And now you should be getting to the point where you have a decent bit of muscle memory and you're starting to feel comfortable on keyboard and mouse.
Gross. Worst comp player?
So now it's time to do one of the last things there is to do, and that is to play a real game of Fortnite. Now it's completely your choice if you want to play in Reload or Battle Royale or Rank. Though I will say, if you're not ready to get absolutely crapped on, do not play Rank. My suggestion is just to play normal Battle Royale and work your way up, just like we've been doing this entire video. Now in my opinion, playing actual games on Fortnite is going to help you the most when trying to improve on keyboard. And the reason why I say this is because you're gonna get put into a lot of high pressured situations where you're gonna need to remember your keybind. And if you die, that's gonna become a consequence, which is gonna allow you to build muscle memory faster. So literally just by spending a couple hours playing actual games, it's gonna help you improve on keyboard a lot. But like I said before, you're most likely to be dying a lot at the beginning, but as long as you keep on practicing on what I've been showing you, you should be good. Also, having a good setup where you can run Fortnite smoothly can make a huge difference. Though in reality, it is all up to you and the mindset you have. If you're not going into this with confidence, there's a good chance that you're not going to succeed on keyboard. But as long as you have a good mindset and put in the work, there is no doubt in my mind that you can master keyboard. And just like that, you should have spent at least 24 hours working on everything that I've shown you so far. And if you followed everything that I've shown you in this video, you should be very close to mastering keyboard and mouse. Depending on how familiar you were with keyboard, you might need a little more time, but as long as you follow all the stuff I showed you in this video, you should be good. And if you were able to watch all the way to the end, make sure to comment God did, because he is truly the only reason why I made it this far. So I really hope this video helped you on your journey to mastering keyboard and mouse, but I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.